Hi there, welcome to U 4.4 Sine Law. So we've done the introductions, we've learned how to do matching, we've got everything figured out. Let's actually do some calculations. So that's going to get updated because this is the new video. There. Now I'll remember. Okay, so let's follow the directions. So right here, label the triangle, add some letters if you have to. Okay, so I've got A, B, C in my corners. Those represent my angles. So A is 71 degrees, B is 51 degrees, and I don't know what C is. Well, maybe we'll need it later, but for now, I'm fine. And so we want to do the opposite side. So A, that's going to be the opposite side is little a, and B, opposite side is little b, and C, opposite side is little c. So step two, find the matching pairs. Make sure that you can actually use the sine law. So what I need is a matching set where I have got the degree and the side. So I know both. And then my question part. So my question says find B. I need to have the angle. So I need to have angle B. So when you're doing these, you need 3 out of 4. So we're good to go with the sine law. Okay, check. Step 3, set up the ratio. The way I do it is I always put the pair that I have both numbers for first. You don't have to, but I find if I do it the same way all the time, it helps students. So I know A, so I'm going to go A over sine A, and I'm looking for B, so it's going to be B over sine B. And again, for this set of questions, we're solving for the missing sides. So that is going to be what we're looking for. Okay. Next thing we're going to do is we are going to substitute the numbers from the diagram into your picture. So little a, remember the small letters represent sides. So 9.8 divided by the sine of A. Whoops, not A, 71. Okay, and when I do my angles, I always put the degrees there just to remind myself to make sure I get the degrees in the right spot. I could put centimeters there. It's not wrong. Now, B is a side I don't know, and my angle is sine 51. Check. Now, checkpoint, you should have 3 out of 4. So I've got a side, an angle, and one unknown. So we are good to know. Now, wait for it. We're going to cross multiply. So we're going to go this way. So 9.8 sine 51 degrees is equal to B sine 71 degrees. Okay, don't skip that step. By the way, I went this way and then I went this way. Again, for consistency, I always do this one, then that one. You can go this one first, then that one. It doesn't matter. Your answer is still going to, this is still going to end up the same. Okay, don't skip this step. Some students will go from this and then try to do the division thing, and it doesn't always end well. Anywho, so my variable B is what I'm looking for. So I need to get rid of this sine 71. Now, because the B and the sine 71 are side by side, that means multiplication, and the opposite is division. So I'm going to divide by sine 71. Okay, and notice it's sine 71 because, you know what? Hold that thought. My handy dandy calculator. Okay, what's the first thing you do when you do trig in a calculator? Hope you remember it's 1045. Boom, it's 1. That just reminds me my calculator set in degrees. And honestly, if you look really closely right there, it says degrees. This is also my calculator, and I don't mess with it. Okay. Sine 71. It's an actual value, but I don't I used to make the students write all this out, and it took a lot of time, and it made people kind of, ah. So we don't do that anymore. We're just going to leave it as sine 71, but it's just a number. So we're just going to, this number, we're just going to divide by it. But the rule is, and you know, if I divide one side by something, I have to divide the second one by it. Okay. So then on this side, sine 71 divided by sine 71, boom, disappears. That's the point, right? It cancels out to one. So if I do sine 71 divided by sine 71, I get one. Anything divided by itself is one. That's why we do that. So you get with 1b. And now we just got to do this side. Try this with your calculator. Okay. The calculators we use are pretty good. They're pretty good at direct algebraic logic, which means I should be able to type it in exactly the way that looks and not get an error. So I'm going to go 9.8 sine 51 divided by sine 71, and I should get an answer, right? So really, I'm going to do the answer first, and then I'll put the key punch. Whoops. So B is equal to 8.05. Now I'm going to go back to my picture. Okay, so my other measurement had 1 decimal place, so I'm going to round this to 1 decimal place. So I'm going to round to here. That's going to make that go up. Remember, 5 or more, you go up. So you increase this by 1. If it's 0 to 4, you just leave it alone. On exams, and usually on assignments, I remember to say round to 1 decimal place, 2 decimal places, or whatever. But I didn't do that here, so I'm just going to make it like this one. So it's going to give me 8.1 centimeters is equal to B. Now, you know what? I'm going to just write down that calculator punch, key code, whatever you want to call it. So all I did is I went 9.8. Oh, assume that's a square or a rectangle. Sine 51 divided by sine 71 and equals. I don't know if you need that, but that may help you. This is a pretty old calculator. It works just fine on it. I also tried it. I thought I would have to go 9.8 times sine 51 equals divided by sine 71. But you know what? I got the same answer when I did it the quick way. So go for it. Just try it out on your calculator. Anyway, so there's our answer. Now, before we're done, let's look at, oops, let's get all back in here. Okay, is the answer reasonable? Okay, so I'm going to take my answer. I'm going to put 8.1 centimeters there. It just helps me focus. Now, if I look at these two angles, 71 and 51, 71 is bigger, which means when I look at the sides opposite, these two, the one across from 71, which is 9.8, should be bigger than this one. So I know my answer is probably okay. I can't know exactly if it's all right or anything, but I would know if I got an answer of like 15 or something. I don't know how you do that, but if you got an answer 15, you'd know it would be wrong because this 71 is the biggest angle. This one has to be less than that. See, that wasn't so bad. And it gets faster as we do more because I'll talk less. Okay, let's look at this one. Here we go. Step number 1 was label it. Actually, I'm going to do my usual line. Hey, why don't you pause the video? Take some time, try it yourself, and then check the answer key at the back. Maybe you're right. Maybe you know how to do this and you don't have to watch the rest of the video. Or if it really south on you and you got lost, then restart the video. Because if you just sit there and stare at me doing my work and you're not doing anything, you're just watching along, you're not going to learn much. Okay? There's my public service announcement for this video. Thank you for coming. And let's do the question now. All right, label. Little k, little l, little j, lowercase. Okay. Let's look for our matchy-matchy pairs. Here's one. So I've got my two numbers, so sine law looks like a good option. Oops. And I'm looking for j. So that is this one. All right, now we set up our thing. So lowercase k over sine k is equal to little j over sine j. Okay, match your letters, match your letters. Sine law is all about match left, right, center. All right, let's throw in our numbers. K is 50 over sine 84 is equal to j, which is what I am looking for, over sine, where is it? 42. And if you're thinking, hey, Joanne, is my unknown always going to sit in that corner right there? Pretty much. As long as you set it up the same way, like I do, this is my known, you're fine every single time and it'll work. All right, so cross multiply. 50 sine 42 degrees. It's equal to j sine 84 degrees. So I'm looking, this is my unknown. This is my unknown. So I need to get rid of this sine 84. All right, so let's try this. 50 sine 42 divided by sine 84 equals, all right, 33.64. Now let's see how I should round that. This looks like it's rounded to the nearest whole number. So here, so I'm going to do 34 and its meters is equal to j. That wasn't so bad. It looks scary the first few times you do it. Actually, it's not so bad. I'm going to put 34 into my picture and then just do my quick comparison. Okay, so 84 is bigger than 42. So the side opposite 84, which is 50, better be bigger than my answer. So seems reasonable. Have a spectacular day. Thanks for joining me.